Greetings fellow Vita fans, this is James with PSVita at 2 AM and once again I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We've made it to that special time of the month again guys. Methinks I sense some PlayStation Vita games on the horizon for March 2019. Can I get a heck yeah? I'll just assume that you all said heck yeah. Well, it looks like we have a lot of game to cover this month, guys, and very little time to do it. So I think that's enough lollygagging around on my part. Let's cover all of them games. But before we do, I just have to give my usual disclaimer. Please keep in mind that the PlayStation Vita is very, very unpredictable. And if you saw last month, very unpredictable. So the games on this list more than likely aren't the only releases we're going to be getting for the month of March for 2019. Nah, they're definitely going to throw a few monkey wrenches in there throughout the month, as there are always a bunch of titles that are announced just on the fly during the month itself. But don't worry, I'll keep you up to date on all of those. Scout's Honor! Okay, and now that the PSA's out of the way, let's get to them thar games! Humana. First up, we have Awesome P. I'm assuming most of you guys remember that standalone video I did on this, or many of you are trying to forget I did. You know, the one where I did all of the bathroom jokes on. Ah, memories. But this is going to be the game that's going to kick off everything, because this game is a retro platformer in the style of the old Game Boy system. And it will be releasing on March 1st, 2019 on the PlayStation Store in both North America and Europe. I know what you guys are all thinking. This game again? Wasn't this game already supposed to come out? Yeah, you guys are technically right about that. We have Fate Extella Link. Back in my 2019 February update video, I had mentioned that I was very, very jealous that the fact that Europe was getting this before the States, due to the fact that I live in the States. However, it looks like I had to calm down my jealousy because the European version got delayed as well. As a big surprise to nobody. In fact, it got pushed back to almost the same exact date that the March release in the US was supposed to be. This game is just all over the place, I swear. So, at the time of making this video, Fate Extella Link is due out on March 12th, 2019 in North America and March 15th, 2019 in Europe. Yeah, I mean, maybe, hopefully, probably not. I can't even guarantee at this point if it's even going to come out on those dates because it's been bouncing around so much, but I guess we can always hope, right? And it's a hack and slash beat 'em up, kind of in the vein of Dynasty Warriors. Next up we have Genka Bancho Otome Second Rumble. And I'm going to just assume because it has Otome in the name that's an Otome visual novel. I mean, doesn't that make the most sense to you guys, I think? Featuring a bunch of dudes, and I'm sure there's some sort of female in there that's wanting to win all of their affection. This game will be available exclusively in Japan on March 14th as a retail release, but no word yet on a downloadable version. But I'm assuming it will be. Now we have Penny Punching Princess. It's a story about a princess that likes to punch all the pennies out of people, or at least that's what I'm assuming. The title wouldn't lie to me now, would it? This is one of 3 games that is actually going to be getting a final physical release now in March. Well, at least in the States. The downloadable version has already been out for quite some time, but this is exclusively the retail release, which will be dropping on March 19th, 2019. Now for the other 2 of 3 physical games we have to look forward to, we have up next The Longest 5 Minutes. A very, very cool 16-bit style RPG from the creators over at NIS America. Well, they're the ones bringing it over. But trust me, this game ain't gonna take 5 minutes to beat. I mean, it's an RPG after all. What RPG have you ever seen that actually takes 5 minutes to beat? I barely even started talking about this game and already the title's lying to me. Much like Penny Punching Princess, this game will also be releasing on March 19th, 2019 as a physical release. Also, fun fact here for all you guys over in Europe, NIS America is releasing a small batch of this game physically over in your territory too, but unfortunately it's the only one of the 3 that actually is. And now for the third game of the 3 games that is being released physically, whoa, try saying that 5 times fast, will be The Lost Child. Yes, this one will also be, as you can guess, released on March 19th, 2019. All 3 of these games will be signifying the final US releases we'll be getting here in the States, at least as far as your standard retail-wise goes. The Lost Child is a dungeon-crawling RPG where you collect monsters, kind of in the vein of Pokemon. Definitely looking forward to this one. Next up, we have Full Kiss, the only game on the list that I wasn't able to actually find any footage of, probably because it has a very standard name, and whenever I went searching for the title, I just got a whole bunch of anime kissing scenes and stuff like that. Not exactly the same thing if you ask me. So I'm afraid that these pictures are going to have to do. This too is a visual novel, and it will be releasing out in Japan on March 28th, 2019 as both a retail, a download version, and a limited edition physical version. Ooh, spicy. Haruto Alice Graham Snowdrop. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right. Actually, probably not. This too is also, should be a surprise here, a visual novel, much like Full Kiss. However, because it has much more of a unique name, I was actually able to find some kind of gameplay footage for y'all. And yeah, not much else to say about this. It's a visual novel game, which will be coming out exclusively in Japan on March 28, 2019 as both a retail, a download, and a limited edition physical. Now let's talk about the import game that I am most excited for this year. KonoSuba, God's Blessing in This Wonderful World. You might look at it at first and think, oh wait, okay, I already know there's a KonoSuba game out in Japan for the Vita. Let me guess, visual novel, right?
You'd be wrong, sir.
Actually, no, it's a dungeon crawler game. Oh, I'm just trying to contain my excitement, but I am failing very bad at it. This game will be releasing on March 28, 2019 as a retail, download, and limited edition physical version. And I got my cash ready, and it's time to once again go in debt because I'm sure this game is probably going to be quite pricey. But my woes aside, let's just move on to the next game. Then we have Silvario Trinity Beyond the Horizon. At first glance when I saw this game, I thought, okay, it looks pretty action-packed. I wonder if it's going to be an RPG or maybe a platformer or an action hack-and-slash game. But my hopes were dashed, and it's a Japanese visual novel.
Darn it, Japan, you completely threw me for a loop.
Anyway, Silvario Trinity Beyond the Horizon will be available on March 28th, 2019 as a digital game, a standard retail, and a limited edition physical version. Yep, there's that pattern again. Now let's talk about Ghoul Boy. This is a game I also have done a past video release on. A cool 16-bit style action platform game that looks sort of like in the vein of Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean that in the most awesomest way known to mankind. And one that I'm very highly anticipating. If you were lucky enough to get the physical release back from PlayAsia in February, then the physical release will be launching sometime mid-March. The digital release, however, is still slated to be announced for the month of March. But we can assume it'll probably be launching sometime around when the physical releases ship out, and will be available in both North America and Europe. The digital. I'm talking about the digital version. Whew, so many great games, guys. A ton of great games to look forward to this month on the Vita alone. But what are some of your picks? Which were your favorites of the games I listed on here? And what titles are you hoping get released soon in the future? Tell me down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. The following video has been brought to you in part by Adam Theory, Saul Ramirez, Heston Joseph, and all these wonderfully generous people over at Patreon. I have a number of exclusive perks available for backers, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, check the links down in the description below and become a Patreon family member, where I have all kinds of fun, exclusive behind-the-scenes looks of the channel. Wait, looks of the channel? Oh, that didn't really make sense. Well, at the very least, it'll be interesting content for the blooper reel. Ah yes, I can always fall back on the blooper reel.